A genetics lab is a busy place. It's full of equipment and supplies and researchers toiling away at their workstations called lab benches. Even though the bench is really just a raised, flat surface that's conducive to working while standing up. Depending on the lab, you may see people looking very official in white lab coats or researchers dressed more casually in jeans and t-shirts. Every lab contains some or all of the following: disposable gloves to protect workers from chemical exposure and to protect DNA and other materials from contamination. Pipettes for measuring even the tiniest droplets of liquids with extreme accuracy, glassware for liquid measurement and storage, and vials and tubes for chemical reactions. Electronic balances for making super precise measurements of mass, chemicals and ultra-pure water. A refrigerator, a freezer, and an ultra-cold freezer for storing samples. Repeated freezing and thawing causes DNA to break into tiny pieces, which destroys it. For that reason, freezers used in genetics labs aren't frost-free, because the temperature inside a frost-free freezer cycles up and down to melt any ice that forms. Centrifuges for separating substances from each other. Given that different substances have different densities, centrifuges spin at extremely high speeds to force materials to separate so that researchers can handle them individually. Incubators for growing bacteria under controlled conditions. Researchers often use bacteria for experimental tests of how genes work. Autoclaves for sterilizing glassware and other equipment using extreme heat and pressure to kill bacteria and viruses. Complex pieces of equipment that are used to generate more copies of DNA fragments or to determine the sequence of segments of DNA. Lab notebooks for recording every step of every reaction or experiment in nauseating detail. Geneticists must fully replicate, run over and over every experiment to make sure the results are valid. The lab notebook is also a legal document that can be used in court cases, so precision and completeness are musts. Computers packed with software for analyzing results and for connecting via the internet to vast databases packed with genetic information.